my statement to you, Coffeezilla. You're a I guarantee I drink more coffee than you. I accidentally leaked your email address, now everyone's calling gay. I regret nothing I've ever done. For every single person who can show me they have emailed Coffeezilla and called him gay, I will buy daddy. I accidentally leaked your email address.
Controversial internet personality and alleged sex trafficker and confirmed douchebag Andrew Tate has gone after investigative reporting YouTuber Coffeezilla after Coffeezilla reached out to Tate for comment on one of his current investigations. I can't speak on the validity of the scam accusations, at least not yet. But one thing stuck out to me about these tweets.
I accidentally leaked your email address.
As a person on the internet, I'm sure you're aware of a practice called doxing. Well, I'm America's attorney. I've been a lawyer for over 23 years, helping over 20,000 people. And today we're breaking down whether Tate leaking Coffeezilla's email address is actually doxing, and if Coffeezilla has a case against the alpha male loser himself. Look, Andrew Tate is no stranger to controversy. Tate, a former kickboxer and self-proclaimed misogynist, has built quite a following promoting his views on masculinity and women and creating businesses meant to help his followers learn how to get rich. He and his brother were charged last year with sex trafficking in Romania, a legal battle that is still ongoing. I'm cheering for the prosecutor. With such bigger fish to fry, it's a wonder to me that he took time out of his probably very busy schedule to hit out at Coffeezilla over his investigative video. But he did. After Coffeezilla reached out asking the simple question regarding Tate's involvement in several crypto coins, Tate went on this mini rant on social media, including a screenshot of the original email, which contained Coffeezilla's full email address. Which brings us to the focus of today's video, the leak of Coffeezilla's email and Tate's request for his audience to mass email Coffeezilla calling him gay? Doxing, according to the Texas Office of the Chief Information Security Officer, is the gathering of an individual's personally identifiable information, PII, such as home address, telephone number, and/or email address, and posting it publicly without permission. This is usually done for malicious purposes such as public humiliation, stalking, identity theft, or targeting an individual for harassment. Well, first let's talk about the practical risks of doxing someone. It's easiest to look at the home address issue. If you have a following of people, let's say a bunch of idiots, and you weaponize them to harass another person, let's say a really cool online journalist, then you're civilly liable for the harassment or injury that one of your devotees commits. For instance, if you give out a home address and tell people to harass that person, and then one of them breaks a window, then you're on the hook for that action. That's, civil liability. If they go there and they crime, such as breaking a window, then you can be charged as a co-conspirator for that criminal trespass. And you might think,
yeah, it's a broken window, no big deal. I'm charged with sex trafficking.
But look, it can get worse. And since we know that Andrew Tate fans are basically imbeciles and that they're desperate for his approval and to impress him, the outcome could be so much worse than a broken window. And even without setting foot in the place where the crime is committed or the civil offense is committed, you could be charged there criminally or civilly. And if this doesn't sound realistic to you, I'd like you to consider two things. In the event of real damage and a lawsuit from a victim, who do you think they want to sue? They want to sue the person with the most money, duh! That's rarely going to be the dumb sheep who was told by their hero to bully someone else. And instead, it's a slam dunk that the victim's lawyer is going to sue the person who activates his base to bring about the harassing action. It's not just that lawyer. The sheep's lawyer is also going to look to the activator, and he's going to use the strategy that the bad deed is largely the result of the influence of that no-good shepherd. And even if the plaintiff's attorney didn't sue both, a smart lawyer for the sheep is going to make a claim against the shepherd. Now look, those are the practical sides, but does that mean that doxing itself is illegal? And if so, how? And under what circumstances? There's no federal law that specifically criminalizes doxing, but 3 states have done so. You got California, New York, and the state where Coffeezilla lives, Texas. And the way criminal laws work, you don't have to go to a state to be potentially liable for criming there. if the results come to pass in one of those 3 states. Now, Texas law says this at section 42.074 of the Texas Penal Code, where they criminalize a type of doxing, which is officially titled unlawful disclosure of residence, address, or telephone number. Under the statute, a person commits doxing if he or she posts on a publicly accessible website the residence, address, or telephone number of an individual with the intent to cause harm or threat of harm to the individual or a member of the individual's family or household. So because all that the alleged sex trafficker did was provide an email address, does that mean he's off the hook because email addresses aren't in that statute? Well, now hold on here. Not so fast. Just because email addresses aren't included in the Texas statute doesn't mean necessarily that Tate is totally off the hook. Because like most states, Texas has also criminalized something called harassing electronic communications. In fact, take a look at the relevant sections of Texas Penal Code 42.07, subsection A. A person commits an offense if, with the intent to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass another, the person, subsection 7, sends repeated electronic communications in a manner reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, embarrass, or offend another. You know, such as calling them, I don't know, gay like 800 times. Since the law is clear that you can't merely outsource your crimes to get off the hook, and if Tate himself can't send those 800 emails to Coffeezilla, then he can't have his herd or his flock or his dum-dums do it either. So, a ding ding ding, we finally have a tiny, itsy bitsy little crime. Look, it's just a tiny misdemeanor. It's actually kind of funny, for real. I'm used to Tate committing felonies that like ruin people's lives. I mean, allegedly, of course, he denies all wrongdoing in the sex trafficking, even though he definitely admits to it in the videos that he posted on the internet. It's more accurate to say not that he denies wrongdoing, but that Tate asserts that the things that he has definitely done are not wrong. What a loser. Whether this type of doxing is going to be a crime and whether you can get law enforcement to, well, enforce the law with regard to this type of crime is kind of immaterial to the bigger picture. This kind of mean and selfish behavior makes the world a worse place to live. And if Tate ends up in a Romanian prison for a long time on these trafficking crimes, well, then the world will be just that much of a cleaner and better place to live. Greta Thunberg wins at last. Now, Coffeezilla responded by posting this video in which he dives into some of Tate's crypto coin sponsorships and their subsequent failure, as well as posting some of the emails he has received. He also hits back at Tate, calling him a massive nerd.
Newsflash, the Tate brothers are nerds. They're nerds on steroids. Haven't you noticed that they're obsessed with the Matrix, councils, and chess, all things very much in the domain of nerds? Just because you try to slap a rented supercar in the middle of all of it doesn't mean we're fooled. Anyone who says increase your power levels is automatically a massive nerd.
Okay, so where do we go from here? Will Tate release another Twitter rant? Will Coffeezilla push some legal action against Tate? Look, I don't actually know, but I can tell you that cyberbullying is not the sort of thing that most law enforcement agencies are gonna get excited about. And Tate's not gonna get extradited from Romania, where he's awaiting a felony trial for a Texas misdemeanor. And I'm sure Coffeezilla is a big boy, and he can ignore the stupid emails. But what if the emails threaten violence? Where does he go from here? What do you think? Drop your pro se opinion down below in the comments, and don't forget to lawyer up with America's attorney. Whether you're an alpha male or a dork need gurk, you're all welcome here. See you back soon. Bye. And self-proclaimed wow. Individuals' personally identifiable information that the bad deed is largely the